Okay, I'm not sure if I did this right. I don't know if I did this right. So, um, okay, so today I'm going to, just to give anyone that is watching this after the stream, I am actually preparing to do a tutorial uh, on D&D, so Dungeons and Dragons, and there are going to be lots of questions most likely, and I'll be answering questions in the chat. And let me go ahead and sign into chat right now. So open in web browser. Hey, Lance. Okay, so I don't know how to do that. Britt, I'm at a loss here how to cancel that. Let me see. Let me look at, how do I do that? How do I cancel the old one? See, this is why I don't need to be streaming. The very reason why. Let me cancel this. How do I do that? Let me see really quick here. So, how do I cancel this? Do I cancel it in... Oh, wait. Okay, so then. Okay, close. You have... Okay, I don't know how to do that. So, we're going to cancel that. And... Yeah, it won't let me do it. How do I do that? Cancel it? Schedule stream. Yeah, I don't know because it's not letting me. How do I select one destination? Okay, it won't let me do it. So sadly, we're here. I have no idea. Okay, so yeah, I think, can you do that? Yeah, just I'll refresh chat here. Yeah, if you could, because I have no clue how to do it. I probably should have looked, but it just basically said schedule. And I went with schedule. I should have just went live. Okay. Let me turn this down. Because the music is kind of loud in my ears and I'm not sure how loud. Is the music super loud to y'all? Hey, Digby. Welcome, everyone. Says to cancel these dates, delete the upcoming events from your video manager. All notices. Okay. So video manager. So I need to go to YouTube, right? And just delete that. Let me just go ahead and do that. Go to YouTube Studio and content maybe. Live. There it is. Okay. And delete. Nope. Well, let me delete it. Come on, delete. There it is. Delete forever. Yes, I understand. Delete forever. Okay. So this one needs to, for some reason, a Sims video is... Wait, what? No, delete that. Yeah, delete that. What? I don't know what that is. Sims 4? Okay. We ready. So sorry. Okay, so I didn't know if the music was too loud. So if you guys will let me know if it's too loud or not, because it's a little loud in my ear and I don't know how loud it is to y'all. I could probably turn the music down completely. Or just turn it down to there. Okay. All right. So we are doing tonight, I was just talking to anyone that's going to watch this afterwards, that we are going to do a tutorial night because, okay, cool. Thanks, Mel, for looking that up. I'm going to sip some tea real quick. Okay, so sorry if I'm like drinking in your ear. So, basically, we're going to do a D&D 101. It is a bit loud. Okay. So I turned it down, so should be okay now. So we're going to do a D&D 101 because the girls and I are going to be playing Dungeons and Dragons. And well, anyone else that wants to join, basically, the more the merrier. But we decided on a whim that we're going to play Dungeons and Dragons because I used to play Dungeons and Dragons, and Brittany was playing a game the other day called Spellcaster University, I think, and it reminded me so much of a tabletop game. We just started talking about it and it snowballed, and so now I am a dungeon master, and I don't know what all that entails per se. I've been only a player, so this is going to be interesting. So all right, so I decided to use Divinity Original Sin as a sort of visual tutorial because Divinity Original Sin is probably the closest to what a tabletop RPG would look like if without playing Dungeons and Dragons online, or like a actual Dungeons and Dragons game. So yeah. Hey, it's Ocean. All right, so welcome. All right, so what we're going to do first is go over basics. So let me quickly grab my sheet here. You probably hear the music go out. But I definitely wanted to go over this information with y'all because I know that sometimes I use acronyms, and a lot of times at RPGs, acronyms are used and people don't know what they mean. So I'm going to go over it real quick with y'all. I can show you my Google Doc. So first, let's get into character creation. Let's do that. So I'm going to go into story mode, I think, and we're going to single player. And for the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to go and explore. Yes, okay, allow access, all that jazz. Okay, so we're going to use Explorer because Explorer, and I think there's an easier mode than Explorer. Normally I would play this in a normal mode, but just for the sake of tutorial, this will be easy. So this is basically what would be called a turn-based RPG, and tabletop is basically that, turn-based RPGs, and tabletop is like the granddaddy of all video games. And just to give you a brief history, tabletop started in the 70s, I think, the late 70s, and most of your game devs play RPG games. Anybody that has played Fable, those designers, they played RPGs. World of Warcraft, definitely RPG tabletop gamers. They played Dungeons and Dragons, and they based a lot of their gameplay mechanics off of tabletop and the skill base of RPGs. Okay, so all right, so here we are at the character customization screen, and this is very important, obviously, when you're playing a game, that you create your character the way you want to create it. But with an RPG, especially something like this, you have to be a little more cognizant of the choices you make, because everything matters, especially in something like this. Your personality, your race, where you're from, all that matters. All that defines how the NPCs interact with you, defines how you interact with your NPCs. Okay, well, hey, I played tabletop, not necessarily in my youth. Well, I guess I was a lot younger, quite a bit. Okay, so I think, yeah, so this guy, we'll just go with basic knowledge first. I'm going to grab this real quick. Okay, so I'm not a very good teacher, guys, so bear with me. And for those of you watching this afterwards, I'm sorry if this is boring, but I am trying to help out people that have never played any tabletop game. And some of the terminology may be a bit new. Some of it may not be new for you guys. Okay, so basic acronyms. I already have this ready for y'all. DPS, what we call deeps, damage per second. Basically, of course, that's self-explanatory. How much damage you're dealing on the foe or the boss or whatever per second. Then you have your heals per second, is how much your heal throughput is per second on your party members. And then you've got HP, which is your hit points. Hit points is basically how much life a particular mob has, like a raid boss or just a regular mob out in the world. And then you have something called line of sight, which is LOS, and basically that is who can see what on the playing field. So a lot of times a tank will line of sight something, right? Or someone that's a ranged character might line of sight something, and they will like go behind a wall out of the line of sight of a mob to get either away from the damage or to pull them out of a boss out of a particular area to kind of offset some damage, something like that. Hey Felicia, welcome. This is the D&D session 101 tutorial, so welcome. Take notes if you're going to play D&D. All right, so LOE, line of effect, straight unblocked path that indicates what a spell can affect. So if a mob is right in front of you and say you're playing a mage, which is a ranged DPS, that mob is straight right in front of you, that's going to be your line of effect. That's where you're casting your spell, right straight in front of you. Then you have something called AoE, which is your area of effect. And basically it's abilities or spells that affect multiple targets within an area. So in World of Warcraft, mages have something called Blizzard, and they can cast that spell and it affects multiple mobs in one area, and it's a specific area because it'll tell you what your range is. There are like other area of effects. It doesn't necessarily have to be damaging. It could be healing, because druids or shamans have healing area of effects. So you, in that circle of heals, depending on you can heal so many people in that circle or range. Okay, so let me know if I'm going too fast, or if you have any questions. Please let me know, because I'm trying to pay attention to chat as well. Then you have something called res. You'll hear that a lot in like raids and stuff like that. And resing basically means resurrect. So people say, can I get a res, please? Just easier to say that than resurrect. Especially when you're a raid, you have to be able to say it really fast. Res, please, something like that. Then we have your spec, which is a specialization. Specs are important. Spec is basically what your character is spec'd into. Are you a, are you a warrior? Are you a rogue? Are you a healer? And if you're a healer, what kind of healer are you? Okay, so it can get pretty detailed. All right, so in any type of RPG, there's what they call the Trinity. Okay, basically it means your heals, DPS, and tank. That's the Trinity for any RPG, especially games like Dragon Age. Dragon Age, you're going to want to take a tank with you. You're going to take someone that is a healer and someone that's DPS, or two people that are DPS. Tank means basically someone that takes all of the damage from the mobs and mitigates it away from the rest of the group. So they take all the damage, and usually they have a lot of health points, hit points. And of course, DPS, the deeps, they do the damage. Tanks can also do some damage, minimal damage, but they do damage. And then heals, of course, they take care of keeping everyone alive. They can also do damage, but their damage won't be as much as, say, a DPS. Healing specs are usually what you call hybrids, or can be hybrids. And what I mean by a hybrid, I should go back. Tanks and heals Well, okay, I'll just say this. There are hybrid classes. And I believe, um, I don't know if D&D has hybrid classes, but I know a lot of RPGs have hybrid classes. And what I mean by hybrid is that they have more than one type of specialization. You could be, say, a shaman type character, and that shaman can either heal in one spec or DPS in one spec. So in World of Warcraft, my main character is a shaman. I play a resto shaman, but that's my heal spec, and then my DPS spec is elemental. So I deal elemental damage. So those are my two specs, and I play what you call a hybrid. And then there's tank hybrids like druids. Um, they can play a tank, they can play heals, and they can play DPS. So they have like and three different spec types. Okay, so it is not new. I mean, well, it's been out for a couple years now, a few years now. Divinity is amazing game. I mean, I'll just say that I won't play it like on the channel, because Divinity takes like my complete comfort, like my complete concentration. Well, I can't talk tonight. Um, but it's really good, and the graphics are gorgeous. The story is like, it draws you in, and I'll show you guys because it definitely will give you an idea how a tabletop game is played. All right, so quickly, you have core stats in D&D and RPGs. You have what's called strength, dexterity, constitution, wisdom, intelligence, and charisma, and they all have checks. So you have strength that just determines how hard you're going to hit something, how much you can carry. And dexterity determines your speed. You also see this stuff in Boundless too. Like agility in Boundless means like how fast you are, things like that. That would be like dexterity here. And it tells you how well you are with ranged attacks. So somebody like a rogue would spec into dexterity, depending on what kind of rogue they are. So if they're a rogue that uses bow and arrows, they would spec into dexterity. Okay. I know like certain rogues, like melee rogues, those are ones that use daggers only. They usually spec into something called, well, it would be agility. I guess they would with dexterity too. I'm not sure. Anyways, there's something called constitution as well. That's going to be your how much life you have, or fortitude. So yes, it's a direct effect on how many hit points you have, as well as your resistance to damage like poisons and things like that. And in D&D, how fast you will sober up, because you can be drunk in D&D. Wisdom, that's how much you know about the world around you. And intelligence is basically how smart you are, and it's usually academic intelligence, so how much you know about things in the world. So wisdom is how much you know about the world. Intelligence is how much you know about the things within that world. So if there's like an artifact that we come across during a particular expedition, sorry if you hear my desk shaking, because Gracie is sitting right underneath me scratching. She feels like she needs to sit right on my feet. So like I said, if we come across an artifact during an adventure, whoever has the high wisdom or high intelligence might know exactly what that item is. Now, you roll for that, but if you have high intelligence, most likely you will roll for it, and you'll find out what it is. I'll have to tell you as a dungeon master. Okay. So I hope I'm not going fast. If you guys have any questions, let me know, because this might be a lot of information I'm throwing at you at once. All right, so charisma is how good you are with people. So basically, charismatic people, we already know. They can talk you into doing everything or talk you out of doing something. Charisma also can help you with threatening people. So yes, charisma comes in handy. I think rogues would be great with charisma, or thieves. Digby said he played a thief. in D&D. I'm in RPGs. Hey, Lisa, welcome. Um, that's okay. That's okay. I messed up at the beginning. Had the stream all messed up. But we were just going over basic stuff. I put it up on the screen, so if you go back and watch it, it'll be here. Detention. Okay. So I'm gonna scroll down here real quick. So these 6 core stats affect all of this stuff down here. So dexterity affects acrobatics. Wisdom affects how you handle animals. Arcana, that's affected by your level of intelligence. So like magic, people that are magic wielders, like mages and arcane mages, or maybe healers like clerics, they would probably focus on intelligence, not necessarily arcana, but intelligence. Charisma, obviously, deception. So I won't go through all this stuff here, but charisma affects like persuasion, your performance, your deception. And intelligence would affect like nature damage, because druids have nature damage. If I don't know if shamans are in the game or not. Intelligence will also affect religion. So I forget how religion works in D&D, but that's something that we can come across later. And of course, if you're a thief, you got to have dexterity for sleight of hand, because you got to be able to steal something. And that definitely comes into play during sessions, D&D sessions, because people have tried to steal things out of the pockets of NPCs and failed and died. All right, so that's just the basic stuff. And again, we can go over that again later. And all right, so we're going to get into this character creation, because like I said, this is very close to how you create a character in D&D. All right, so now I don't want to be the Red Prince. So I can move through all the different races. Now, I'll reiterate, in a tabletop game, or even in Divinity, your background, your race, your background, your race, all of that matters. Everything matters. It's going to determine how you're going to interact in the world, how people are going to respond to you, especially in Divinity, and even like games like Dragon Age. Mages in Dragon Age, people are afraid of them. They hate them. They're, because of the magic. Highly recommend playing those games, by the way. And elves in Dragon Age are looked down upon. Like, people, they're slaves. But before elves they were immortal, and they had their magic taken away from them. It's whole thing. I could talk about Dragon Age lore all day. Okay, so we have, let's see, let's do a human. Okay, let's use her. I don't know how to say her name. Lose, I think. So this is her background. She's a musician, performer, star, and host to all manner of disembodied visitors. Now one dark voice has silenced them all and aims to claim your body for itself. Okay, so that's just some background story on what's going on with this particular game. So her talents, she is ingenious, so it gives her a 5% bonus to critical chance, and 5% bonus critical chance. Critical crits in RPGs or games in general, like if you're fighting something, a crit is just a percentage, is basically how much a massive amount of damage that you did to a mob outside of your normal damage. And so she has a 5% crit chance, and she has a 10% extra critical multiplier. So I think that means that if she has a 5% chance to crit something and that damage, there's 10% damage added on top of that damage, something like that. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm getting out of that. And then she has an encourage bonus. so she can encourage allies around them. So basically, when a mob or when your NPC or your character has encourage, you give a bonus effect to everyone else's like core attributes. Okay, so that's, excuse me, that is kind of like a, what do you call it, a, oh gosh, I forgot the term, support type thing. Yeah. So MTAP has some RPG, like basic RPG aspects in it. So just about every game that has fighting in it has some RPG aspects in it. Some, not like necessarily the role playing part, but like the skill checks and all that stuff. You just don't necessarily see it. That's obviously mathematical equations done in the background. But sometimes in games like WoW, you'll see that right away in your gear and stuff like that. People like to min-max that. Okay, so before I get you a little confused, min-maxing is basically maximizing the skills that you want to get the most damage out of your character, and then minimizing the other skills. So a rogue might maximize their dexterity or agility or whatever to get the most damage, and then like minimize, say, their constitution. And so they might be what's called a glass cannon. Mages tend to do that a lot, maximize like their intelligence, because their intelligence affects their DPS. I'm going all into all kinds of stuff, probably not necessarily needed for this, but anyways, so here I can determine like what my background is. So what I want to be, if I want to be a human, if I want to be something similar to Fane. And Fane, he can snatch people's faces off and turn into them. It's kind of gross. Okay, so we can choose what we want to be. So she can be a cleric, I think, a conjurer, which is a mage, and I think these are her core abilities. Okay, obviously a cleric is a healer. Then there's an enchanter, so that's a different type of range DPS. So it's called a Hydrosophist. I don't know what that is. Is that the ability? Yeah, Hydrosophist, Hail Strike. That's weird. Okay. Then she can also be a fighter, which is normally like a warrior. Inquisitor. I think that's like, oh, it's necromancy. Okay. And there's Knight, another melee DPS. Metamorph. I think this is like, okay, so this is like what WoW would call a mage, because mages use polymorph. I'm not sure what this is, what this particular build is. Okay, so just to backtrack, with the reason why I said your race is so important, I don't know how many of you have ever played World of Warcraft, but if you've played any type of RPG, usually in your character customization screen, it will give you like certain races to choose from. So let's just use Dragon Age, for instance, because World of Warcraft doesn't do this as much anymore. But with Dragon Age, you can play a human, you can play an elf, you can play a dwarf, you can play oh gosh, I forgot. So let's just use those three for now. So human, dwarf, mage. There's something else, but I can't think of the name right now. So those three races all have bonuses. So elves may have a particular bonus towards magicka, okay? And humans may have a particular bonus towards just straight physical damage, like melee. And then dwarves, I would say the same thing, but dwarves can't wield magic. So you're limited to what you can actually, what specs what you can play. So if you play a dwarf, you can't play a mage. But if you want to play a mage, your best choice for a race would be elf. You can play a mage as a human, but you don't get the bonuses of, say, the magic. So that's what I mean by race. So those things do matter too, and you'll see that in your handbook. So definitely read your handbook. What do you mean by half something, Britt? Do you mean like a halfling? Like, can you be half something? I'm the worst teacher, so if I skip around and I confuse you guys, please let me know. Okay, so this is a ranger. This is what I was talking about. Like, so she's a rogue type, but she's a ranged rogue, I would say, but more like a ranger. So I think rangers actually have pets, I believe. This one might. I'm not sure. Here's your rogue. This is your basic classic rogue, melee. They could be thieves, I believe. So yeah, these are the type of people that you want to use for pickpocketing and things like that. Oh yeah, so in certain editions of Dungeons & Dragons, I think you could be like halfling, so you can be like part orc and part human. Or part human, part fae. I believe so. I want to say I played a character that was built, I think I had like a sprite, and then I had a second character that was half human, half fae, something like that. So yeah, when you play D&D, if you're gonna do, you can describe how you look. So say you want to be a half fae or half elf, half human. So you look human, but you have pointed ears. In Dragon Age, one of the characters is half human, half elf, but that character looks completely human. And that character has no idea that they're half human, half elf. But you find out about that later in the story. I'm not going to spoil that just in case someone decides to play it. But yeah. In WoW, there is a orc named Garona who is half orc, half human. Actually, she's half Draenor. Okay, in the movies, in the World of Warcraft movies, she was half orc, half human, but in the game, she was, I want to say she was half Draenei, half orc. Anyways, she's named Garona, half Orcan. Okay, so since I've confused y'all even more. Anyways, so Shadowblade, this is another rogue type melee character. Probably does a lot of like shadow play, a lot of rogue, a lot of stealthy stuff. And I don't know what Wayfarer is, but I assume this is obviously it's another ranged character. They just use crossbows. So there's a bunch of stuff. There's witch, there's wizard, there's battle mage. Battle mage is more like your arcane mage. Okay, so enough of that. All right, so we're back to the beginning. So that's basically it. So we're gonna go ahead and just create something and get into the game. So I have to be careful about what I create here. Ooh. Do I want to go enchanter? Let's see. Let's check out who we want to be first. Do you want to be a dwarf, elf? Oh, human. Why does he look like that? Oh, lizard. Oh no. Absolutely not. Undead dwarf. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Nope. 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 So we're gonna go with Sibo? Don't know. I think she's kind of cool looking. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Let's just go with basic human. Okay, so I think we're gonna go with I usually play a ranger, so let's go with something different. Let's go with a mage type character. Wizard. What is witch? Ooh. Wizard. So this is okay. So she's a fire mage of sorts. Okay. I don't want to be a battle mage. Alright, so we're just gonna go with the regular wizard. Oh, she conjures stuff. I like it. I like it. Let's go with enchanter. Let's be different. So let's go with talents. What's presets? Okay. So this is the preset build. This is where the elf was pretty. The elf was pretty. You love the lizard, the blue one. Fane, I think the red prince. The red prince is really, really stuck up. Like you'll see. Okay, so I know like a couple characters in this particular. I won't go into it. We'll just see. You'll just see. Okay, so she's an enchanter. So her attributes are intelligent and constitution. I don't know how to say that word. Hydrosophist. Okay, so she looks like she's more like nature damage. Yeah, she's like water, air. She's also a lore master. She identifies enemies and allows you to identify items. Okay, so she would focus on intelligence because of identifying items. Okay, if you guys remember that from the earlier tutorial. Okay, we're gonna leave that as it is. So now we get to select our talents. I think, how many talents do we get to do that? Fire out man, what's that mean? So this gets really detailed, y'all. Like, seriously. Is she a morning person? When resurrected, you resurrect to full health. So, okay. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot here. Is she a hothead? Oh my goodness. I forgot how detailed this is. Oh, that's right. She can talk to animals too. This, would come in handy. Ice King. A character with Ice King has an extra 15% water resistance. Oh. Living armor. What's it say? She's got crazy eyes. Hydrosophy. What? Hydrosophy? Fist. Okay. Digby has me looking illiterate. I make myself look illiterate. I don't need Digby making me look even more illiterate. Okay, so mnemonic, extra points to memory, attribute, morning person. Let's go ahead and use morning person. I think I can only choose one. Okay, I guess I can only choose one. We're gonna go with morning person. Just cause. Oh, I need a name. Give me a name. So while we're doing that, just so her origins, she's quick and quip with a swift. Okay, so she's a jester and a mystic. Now I can change her origins and I make her a noble, I think. Or can I? Can I? I thought I could. I thought I could, but I guess not. Do you have to do this? Okay, so in D&D, yes. When you're creating your character, and next week we'll get into character creation. So I will have you guys create your characters next week. I'll walk you through it. And yeah, there's a lot. So be prepared. Even if you want to go over the sheet by yourself to get familiar with it, because it's a lot of information that you have to set up. That's like the longest part, is getting your character set up and things like that. So yeah, then you have to redistribute your skill points, your hit points, all that stuff. Sorry, I'm like talking away from it. So I hope you heard that. But yeah, so we will work on that next week, because that's a lot to deal with, and I didn't want to like completely overwhelm you. So yeah, sorry, I was like really like looking away from the screen and not paying attention. Okay, so I'm gonna move this back a little bit. Okay, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and choose an instrument. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I like it. Okay, let's figure out a name. What does she look like? You spent a whole, let's see, your mic is going, okay, so you spent a whole meeting in Sims cast and never got to play, so I get, yeah, so that's what happens in this, except you're creating your character, how they look. You don't have any like you can click and choose. You create your own character using your own words. Like, this is what my character looks like. They have blue skin, purple hair, green eyes, yellow clovers. I don't know. So that's what you do with D&D. And then, of course, you got to choose, like, okay, they're Fae, they are cleric, or this or that. Okay, so we're gonna go with that. Okay, so start game. Yes, I didn't even change her look. So sorry about 45 minutes worth of talking. I'm gonna drink some tea.
It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared, and sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead, I became part of their story.
Okay. That's a good idea. Oh, there you go, Gracie. There she go, y'all. Okay.
So, still a bit groggy, are we? Don't worry. The sedative will wear off soon enough.
I think this is me. Is this me? What is this me? Yeah.
Easy now. No need to hurry. Get your bearings and report to me upstairs.
Okay, so a little lore. I don't know a whole lot about Divinity, but I do know that certain people are being enslaved for their abilities. I do believe if you have, I can't remember.
Here I was hoping my upstairs visitor was just playing tricks on me.
Okay, so I'm not really sure. Now, Divinity is a point and click type movement. I believe. So, oh, can I loot?
Who are you? Nobody?
Okay. So I'm going to sift through her desk and take all the things. Everybody says hi, Gracie. She went back to sleep. She barked, ran out the room, checked the premises, came back, and promptly went back to sleep. What else can I look at? I don't think that's... Is there anything else? I need to make sure I collect all the things. Let me just see. Let's go over here. Okay, there's nothing. Can I go through this door? Yeah. Okay, so Divinity, you can do anything in Divinity just about. Like, you can... Oh, I just... Really? Did I just block the door? I just blocked the door. Well, dag. I can't get in there now. Is there another door? Nope. Oh, no. So, see, I just messed myself up. Alright, we're gonna go upstairs now. Gracie. Seriously.
Oh, under lock and key.
Okay. I think I just messed myself up, y'all. Let me see.
No.
Yeah, okay, let's see. Is there another way upstairs? What's up here? What's over here? Oh, duh. I think this is upstairs. Yes. Okay, so let's look at the journal. Is there anything? Is this that's my resurrection scroll. Is there a J for journal? Is this my journal? That's not my journal. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna just look around here really quick. So basically, when you're in a tabletop game and you're in a room, say for instance, you do get a chance to look around. So, yeah, got the ladder. So in a, yeah, so you get the chance to look around the room, and that could be like one of your actions. If I, as a dungeon master, place the group in the room, someone in the group can say, okay, I want to check the room. So you roll to check the room, and I may say you discovered something. So right now she's checking the room. Now I don't know what her level of intelligence is, so she might pick something up if she doesn't know exactly what it is. If she has high intelligence, she will know exactly what it is and how to use it, or its origins. Okay, there's the lady I need to talk to.
Why, you're looking at... There you are. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs. Okay. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters.
Okay, so I have a couple ways to respond to her, and since I am a jester, I can use comedy or mystic. So let's see. So I can also interact and say I pull at the thing around my neck futilely, demand to know why she collared you, or I can say something sarcastic. So she's also a mystic, so she probably sees things in her dreams. Interesting. So let's use the mystic response. Yeah, perception is one of the ways that how you can look around the room and see things. It affects that, and then your intellect will help you. So there's wisdom, intellect, and perception. I think perception is affected by your wisdom and intellect, but your wisdom is what you know about the world, and then your intellect is what you know about things in the world. So if she had high intelligence, she would know what the collar is around her neck is, for instance. Right now, she doesn't know what the thing is around her neck. So we're going to use Mystic.
No. You're alive, and you're having a conversation. You are on a ship, of course, but luckily for us both, we're merely sailing the plain old sea.
Okay, probably should have read that.
Index fingers pressed to her lips. She pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
So the narrator is kind of like the DM here. So if I were the DM, and I would be playing this mage right here, this lady, Magister Siwan or Siwan, I would be play acting her, and your player would be her here. So I would narrate and say, index finger pressed to her lips. She pauses a moment and gives you a scrutinizing gander. And then you can choose as a player.
You do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that sedative.
Okay. So you can choose to respond or not to respond.
Oh, well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need to know is that we're en route to Fort Joy.
Okay.
A new life awaits. And if you're a particularly good girl, perhaps a cure as well. An end to Source. For good.
Okay, so she now pulls around the thing at her neck, or we can just leave. I'm going to go ahead and have her pull at the thing around her neck.
Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those Source spells of yours? See what happens.
So she's going to recall the power building inside her, or inside you. The sound and the fury and the madness. Unleash it. So I think the collar keeps anybody that has magical abilities from using their magic. She might play a trick. Don't do it. So I can decide to keep pulling. Oh. So let's just use number one. Let's see what happens.
Currents of magic surge inside you, boiling, bursting, then breaking, only to fade back into your soul like rain into the earth.
Okay, so the collar keeps her from using her abilities.
My, look at the concentration on your face. All will, but no result. There you have it. See? The collar's function. It neuters you of sorts. Makes you unable to cast Source.
So in this world, magic is called source because I think it comes from one source. And like I said, I don't know a whole lot about the lore. I did play it for a little while. Actually, I played it for a few hours because this game is really good when you get into it. For your own
peace of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world's.
Okay, so she's going to go ahead and head out. I guess I can talk to this guy here.
Behind the Magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a face amid the mess.
So I can go into the room and see what's going on, or I could avoid looking in the room, but I'm nosy. I'm going to look in the room and ask what happened.
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you were busy getting your collar fitted at the time, or you'd be a suspect like the rest of them.
Okay, so Britt asks, when making a decision, is it the majority rules in a group? Like you take a vote to decide what to do next? So with D&D, it is a group activity, but you don't necessarily have to take a vote. So the idea is as a group to get through the adventure together. So someone could suggest, hey, I could try, okay, let's use the example of me putting you guys in a room. And at first, you guys, the room is dark, okay? And so, okay, let's just use this particular Divinity scenario here. Say you're all four of you are, or all seven of you, six of you, whatever, are in this room together. Now, you don't know all that's in this room. You just know there's this hallway and there's these doors here. And I, as a dungeon master, would describe this area to you. I would say, okay, you guys are in a hallway and there are 3 doors. there's, or 4 doors. There's 1 door in front of you, 2 doors to the, your left and your right, and then 1 door behind you. The door to your right is open, and the door to the right is open. And so one of you guys can just say, well, I want to check to see what's in the open door. Okay, so that person can just roll for initiative to see if they can look and see what's in the door, or it's behind the door. And then if they fail it or something, someone else can say, okay, well, I want to look at the door, look at the closed door, what's in the behind the closed door on the left. So you don't necessarily have to take a vote, but all of you doing whatever to figure out what's going on in this room, it's a collective, it's a group project, basically. You all do something to figure out what's going on. So if you want to look in the left door to figure out, and maybe that'll help us figure out what's going on, or you look in the right door, someone looks in the door in front of you or behind you, or you know what, I'm going to talk to this NPC right here. So all of you doing something to figure out what's going on, that's the whole goal. Does that make sense? I said in the most roundabout way I possibly could. But that's the idea. But yes, good question. Okay, so there's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Okay, so another magister, I guess, it looks like. I don't know. Can I go in here?
Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does.
Okay, so her name is Los. I could clap him on the back and say you're sure that they have 100% under control. And that means she's jesting there. I could ask to lend a hand. I could ask if he knew the dead man. I could pause. Always does. Always does. Because he says always does. And she's like, what does he mean by that? And asks if this sort of thing happens often. So those are like her options. But that's kind of like what you would be doing in a dungeon like this. You'd be like, okay, I want to lend a hand to investigate. So you move the story forward. Okay, the players move the story. So you can choose to do something alone, or you can choose to do something as a group. Yeah, so most of the time you're with the group, so each of you can choose to survey the room in your own way. So say Brittany has high intelligence. So Brittany knows that she can discover items and what they're used for. And Cosmic, you have high wisdom, and so you know what's going on around the world. You know the world that you guys are in. You know the lore behind it. You know everything. You know what's going on. So that bit of information that you have with the bit of information that Brittany has, maybe some information that Felicia has. Maybe Felicia is, I don't know, maybe Felicia is a thief, okay, and she can maybe steal something out of the this magister's pocket, right? She has high stealth, high thievery. She can steal out of his pocket, or dexterity. She maybe grab a note out of his pocket and get information about this dead body, or the dead body over here, or steal something out of this magister that's pacing back and forth, or steal something from the body. Stuff like that, if that makes sense. Also, I think she's a bard. What is she? Oh, she's muted. Her source is muted. Okay, so she can no longer use the magic. So we're going to not touch him because he does not seem to be in the mood. And he's got high, I don't know what my HP is, but ask if I can lend a hand. Maybe ask if this is something that always happens.
You surprised? You're one of them. You know what sorcerers are capable of? Whoever did this found a way around their collar and killed a man. Small
Continue.
ones this time, thank the gods. We'll find out who did it, one way or another.
Okay, so my response actually got a little information from him. I don't necessarily have high persuasion. Sometimes if you have high persuasion or high charisma, which affects your persuasion, you can get information out of people that normally someone else that doesn't have high charisma can't. Yeah, it gets pretty detailed, Brittany, so you have to really think about how you want to create your character, what kind of abilities, what you're going to really spec into, because that affects how you're going to play the game, and like your personality and things like that too. Hey, Raven, welcome to the stream. We're doing a little D&D tutorial by playing Divinity, so everybody's asking questions, and I'm kind of walking slowly through Divinity. So this isn't going to be like the most action-packed. But I won't be playing too much longer because we've been streaming for a while now. Oh, did I? Oh, I can't.
It seems as though there's a pattern in the blood flow. That can't be natural.
Okay. Can we go in here? Are we allowed to go in here? I don't think so. I don't think we can. Oh, yes, we can. So I can't steal from this body because it's a red, so we don't want to do that, especially with the guard standing here, because I will get attacked. So I'm going to turn the screen and look a little bit more at what's going on. What is this? Can I take this? Poetry book. Pretty sure that's useless. Pretty sure. Okay, so let's head out.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
So people are out here talking. So everybody else is collared up. There are kids in here. You guys, let me tell you something about this game. It is brutal. Brutal.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
Okay. So... Oh, look at the little puppy.
No. Insufferable, surely.
Let's sit down and talk to these guys.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it
Scroll
quiet
in.
long enough for me to listen.
So these are dwarves. I'm going to talk to them.
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. His beard is a cascade of meticulous plaits, each one braided through with golden medallions.
Okay, so again, if I were the DM narrating this, that's what I would be saying. So this is, you meet the dwarf in this area, this is what the dwarf looks like, and I will give you like a little information about him. And you can actually ask for more information, but you'll have to roll for the information. So there's a lot of rolling to get information, and if you have the correct amount of skill, and the roll, you can get the information. I'll have to go back and watch that, Raven, because I saw that you were streaming yesterday, and I was watching Brittany's stream. Or not Brittany, who was streaming yesterday? Oh my goodness. Jai was streaming yesterday, and I meant to go back and look at that. So, can I talk to him?
He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
So he probably doesn't trust me, okay?
Listen up, kiddo. You hear that?
Oh. Girl, tell him you have to think twice before addressing you like a child. I think she's noble, if I remember correctly. Ask what you're meant to be hearing. Wave his request away and ask him what he knows about the murder on board. Take your leave. No, I'm not going to address him like this because I'm not going to be stuck up because we're all in this together in some boat. No, I have no idea where I'm at, so I'm going to ask him what I meant to be hearing.
The ship, of course.
Okay. Quieten and listen to the sound of the ship.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates, the groaning of wood from floor to ceiling, the boom, crash, and crackle of waves around you, complaints from the sea itself.
Okay.
And?
Tell him the ship is moaning like a sick man. Say the sea sounds angry, like it's trying to capsize the ship. Remark that your shipmates are as chatty as gulls. You can barely hear over the din. And tell him you didn't hear anything unusual. I mean, I don't necessarily hear anything unusual, but I'm going to go ahead and say the sea sounds angry, because she is a bit of a mystic, so that would make sense for her to say.
The fellow cocks his ear, listening.
Okay.
That isn't anger. It's
He cocks his ear to the other side, then smiles.
anticipation. She senses something. I'd hold on to my breeches if I were you, mate.
Okay.
That's all you hear, though. Listen close.
Sounds like Jason is having a time with Gracie. Okay, so close your eyes and try to let the ambient sounds on the ship fade away. Ask him what exactly. I'm gonna go just ahead and ask him because I have no idea what I'm supposed to be listening for.
You've got ears on your head, haven't you? Do you need me to show you how to use them?
Okay, so apparently that didn't work. Close my eyes.
There now, just like that.
Okay,
Squeak!
really?
Aha!
Okay.
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy. One great paw claps you on the back. The other catches you before you lose your footing.
There, you heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, kiddo. Good news.
What is he going on about? I have no idea. Ask what has got him so excited. Yeah, what?
No, you beautiful idiot. That wasn't any rat. It was the wheel. Squeaks whenever the helmsman jerks it clockwise, which means we're heading east.
Okay, how in the heck would he even know that?
Burn my beard. That means if we've been traveling for, yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy.
Okay, so Fort Joy isn't exactly, I think it's not exactly joyful. It's a prison island, or I think so. I think it's like Rikers Island almost. So where all the sources or muted sourced mages are go. Let's see. Tell him he shouldn't talk like that about such a magnificent beard. Ask him why he's so excited about reaching Fort Joy. Yeah, why is he excited about reaching Fort Joy?
Yeah, no indeed, kiddo. But that ain't my final destination.
Okay.
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard, gold medallions jingling merrily. His eyes roll over to you.
Okay, watch your eyes, buddy.
That'll be all. Thank you kindly, kiddo.
Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and take my leave. Okay, so let's talk to the Red Prince real quick.
Well, what have we?
He really is.
A fresh face in this stale hell. Let's size you up, shall we?
Scalcatraz.
See if you'll do.
Rikers Island. The Red Prince. Now, okay, he's different. I'll just say that.
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would a fetching horse.
I will be right back.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of this ship with him.
He was one of them. I know it.
Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure
Okay, I'm back. Gracie was terrorizing Jason. So, okay.
All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
Okay, so let's humor him. See where this leads.
There's some discoloration, but I've seen worse. After all, one can't expect to find prime merchandise on a squalid little ship like this.
Okay.
Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook?
Your kind always hung closest to our
Laugh and say you can hardly tell a turkey from a turnip. Nod and tell him you're quite the wizard in the kitchen, a true chef. Why would he even ask me that? So I'm gonna laugh and say I can hardly tell a turkey from a turnip.
Oh, goodness, no.
Oh,
And don't even mention the demon's testes that are turnips.
the really tall creature in the back here.
On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor?
I think he wants a servant. Stick a thumb through one of the holes in your garb and say these provide cool in the summer. Yeah.
Yes, I can tell from your vagabond chic, a bag is as good as a shirt kind of style. I shouldn't be getting my hopes up.
Yeah, you really shouldn't.
On then to my final query.
I know it.
Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The delicate art of cosmetics is what I'm after.
Okay, just keep chewing your hair. It was already in your mouth anyway. So I'm gonna act stupid. Yeah, I'm gonna act
Dear
stupid.
Lord, I might as well try and teach mathematics to a dog chasing its tail.
That creature looks like something from WoW. Oh, like the Wakanda trolls. What are they? Not trolls. Yeah, trolls. What are they? I forgot what that race of troll is.
So, 3 questions asked, 3 questions answered. Let's evaluate, shall we?
Okay.
As per your own testimony, you have the taste buds of a dung beetle, the fashion sense of a monkey in a clown suit, and your personal hygiene reminds one of a carcass rotting in the sun.
Yikes.
That won't do at all, see? I'm sad to say I must deny you the opportunity to be my slave. Ever so sorry.
Oh. Dang. Assume a sad face until you're mightily disappointed. Yeah.
I know, but
I'm so
you
sad.
just don't have what it takes. A good slave's made of sterner stuff, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Still, hone your skills, and one day you may just qualify for a position in a lesser household than mine. You keep dreaming, you hear?
Yeah. Okay, let's talk to her.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
I spent my life singing for my slaves to bring me my supper. Finer fare than boiled roots and rotten tubers, too.
She's just as stuck up as he is.
Meanwhile, the Magisters feast on honeyed meat behind this very wall. The indignity.
Okay, so she didn't have much to say.
Here anyway.
Okay.
I'll tell you if
Alright guys, I'm going to end it here because this was just a like quick tutorial on like the basics of RPGs. Let me know if you guys have any questions because this could get very long if I continue on because this does get very involved, and I think this just one part took me like an hour to get through, so I'm not going to keep y'all all night, and it's almost 9 o'clock. So I'm going to stream a little bit more than an hour, so I hope that helped. I hope I didn't confuse anybody. So if you have any questions, let me know. Next week I plan on streaming again, but I'll stream something like I will stream the character customization. We'll go over that, the actual sheet for D&D, so we can create our characters together and figure that out, and then I can answer any questions. So I hope that helped. Like I said, homework. You got some homework. Read when you get your handbooks. Hopefully everybody will get them this weekend. If you order them from Amazon, read the handbook and watch definitely watch the beginning cosmic, because I just go over like some terms and stuff. It'll help you out. Any game really it'll help you out with. Read your handbook and look over the character customization sheets and start thinking about like what class spec you want, and race, and what else. Try to watch D&D videos if you can. Where's the graph paper? We haven't gotten there yet. Don't be trying to scare them, Digby. We're going to start off real basic. We're not going to be doing all the mathematical equations that everyone else does, because we're going to be real basic. I've never DM'd it before. I've just been a player, so I don't want to scare you. But I do have a graph paper notebook. I actually just found another one that I had. So you too, Raven. Thanks for stopping by. I hope this wasn't too boring for everyone, but I definitely wanted to help the people out that had not played D&D, so we can actually get a good start on D&D sessions. I am so ready to play D&D again. Y'all don't even know. So I can't wait to play. So I will probably try to stream our sessions. I'll see what everybody else thinks about that. And we have to figure out a day that we're actually going to play it. So this will be my first DM session soon. So yeah. All right, guys. I thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy Divinity for what it is, for the little part that you did see, and all the information I have for you. I bought it for Minecraft actually to build a base a few years ago. Oh, the graph paper. Oh, that's right. I remember you had it. Night, Digby. Oh, that was Raven. I'm sorry. Always hating D. Yeah, I don't know how if I'm gonna be any good at it. I'm not sure. I know there's a lot of work because you have to like create the storylines and stuff like that, or like for the quests. But it should be fun. It's gonna be a lot of work, but it should be fun. And so I like to write, so we'll see. All right. Hope y'all guys listen to that English. Hope you guys enjoy the stream.